Zoey, if it's really you inside that costume, you're dead for sure. Zoey grabbed her bald head to keep it in place and ran away in her costume in a clumsy panic. Blaine chased after her without thinking. Now he was positive that it was Zoey inside the costume. "You'd better not let me catch up to you, otherwise you're finished!" Blaine shouted at her costumed back as she fled. Zoey dodged and weaved through the crowded street, struggling to run in the awkward costume. But why was Blaine even chasing her? What the hell was he trying to do? Zoey's breath was growing short when she suddenly saw a sign ahead directing people to the restrooms. Zoey burst through the bathroom door and slammed it shut behind her. Panting heavily, Zoey took off the bald man's head and sat on the toilet lid to catch her breath. Bang! Zoey jumped as the bathroom door suddenly flew open and smashed into the wall. Then, with another loud bang, the door was ruthlessly slammed shut and locked. Blaine watched Zoey with fiery eyes. He was slightly out of breath, and a thin layer of sweat seeped through his white shirt. "What are you trying to do?" she asked him angrily. Blaine smirked coldly. Blaine was so close now, the two of them were both breathing very hard. Zoey could clearly feel the scorching air coming from between his lips as his hot breath mingled with her own. Blaine lowered his head and fiercely kissed Zoey's lips, wantonly attacking her mouth. Zoey hadn't expected him to suddenly kiss her. She pushed her hands against his chest and turned her head to the side to break the kiss. "Blaine, what are you doing?" But before Zoey could finish speaking, Blaine had once again sealed his lips over hers. However, in that exact moment, the phone in Blaine's pocket rang. Zoey's eyes went wide. For a moment, it was as if her breathing had stopped. "Huh?" Sofia's suspicious voice came from outside the door. He immediately muted his phone without hesitation. Zoey's eyes widened in disbelief. In this situation, Blaine actually dared to kiss her. Did he not know that the people standing outside were his mother and his future wife? Outside the restroom, Sofia finally gave up. "Mom, let's go back to the corner and retrace our steps. We'll probably run into him that way." As soon as the two women walked away, Blaine let go of Zoey. Zoey clutched the bathroom wall beside her, panting as she glared at the man in front of her. She felt wronged and annoyed. "Blaine, you lunatic!" Finally, he straightened his clothes and gave her a light smile. I never understood until tonight how exciting sneaking around could be. Blaine turned around, pushed open the door to the bathroom, and calmly walked out. As Blaine calmly walked out of the ladies' room, he could hear Zoey cursing his name. Several other salesmen were still there, doing their best to promote their products. Blaine walked up and told the salesman closest to him calmly, "I'll buy all the boxes you have here. Count them and tell me how much." "What?" The salesman was so surprised that he couldn't even close his mouth. Blaine frowned impatiently as he urged the man, "Count them, I don't have all night." "Sir, there are a total of 20 cases. Each case contains 50 individual boxes. So the total for all of them is $20,000. For such a good customer, I will give you 10% off, so your total is $18,000. We take cash or credit cards." "No need for a discount. Charge me the full $20,000. But Zoey Fuller's name is to be written on the invoice, and she should earn the full commission on this sale. She's the one who convinced me to buy them." "What?" The salesperson thought he didn't hear Blaine clearly. Blaine raised his eyes and looked at him harshly. "Is there a problem?" No, of course not." "Tell her my surname is Dexter. She'll know where to send them." After Blaine said this, he walked away without looking back. Zoey finished her work and dejectedly walked back to her car. Throwing her bald head carelessly into the back seat, Zoey turned on the engine and started to drive home. Pulling into her driveway a short time later, Zoey turned off her car and sat there for a long moment, thinking about all that had happened that night. Zoey got out and shut the car door. As she was turning around to head inside the house, Zoey saw her. Sofia was standing in front of her house. Zoey looked at Sofia in astonishment. Under the dim streetlight, Sofia's black dress disappeared into the night sky, giving her a somewhat eerie appearance. Her face, which always had a gentle smile, was now so cold that it made Zoey shiver. When Sofia saw Zoey, she slowly approached her one step at a time, each click of her high heels seemingly more ominous than the last. It was Zoey's first time seeing Sofia like this. To be honest, Zoey felt a rush of apprehension watching her approach. She looked so intimidating. Then Zoey felt a bit silly and forced herself to calm down as Sofia stopped in front of her. "Sofia, you're looking for me?" Zoey asked. Sofia had slapped Zoey across the face. The sudden turn of events left Zoey dazed. "Zoey, how does it feel to be a mistress?" "It's great. It's exciting, isn't it?"
Hi, Zoey here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Rekindled Heartache now.